What's good, happy people? I'm Pastor Q, and welcome back to my One Shot. Listen, before we jump into it, bing, 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 hit subscribe. Go ahead, tell people a lot about me. Go ahead and share me. Go ahead and subscribe, and let's love God together. Now, we're still doing the series of what I call the sacred cows. We're knocking those over, and we're making some good barbecue. It's just Labor Day weekend, so I know I want some more. How about you? Today, we're going to be talking about the law. And what I mean by the law, I'm talking about Hebrew law. Are we supposed to still live by that? Are we still supposed to abide by that? Or has Jesus actually come to actually fulfill the law? Do we still live by it? What do we do? Well, in this one shot, we're going to talk about it right quick. So I want you to know there's been a lot of emphasis on the law lately, namely by specific groups like the Black Hebrew Israelites or whomever. If other people who don't even consider themselves to be of that ilk or of that sect, they still believe that we're supposed to live by the law. Why? Because God instituted the law, gave it to Moses, and Moses was supposed to give it to the children of Israel. Now that we are Christians, are we still supposed to live by the law? We will find out today. Let's go to the Old Testament. Let's go to Jeremiah 31. And I'm reading from the English Standard Version. We're going to go to Jeremiah 31:31. And it says this. I'm reading from the ESV, like I said, "Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah." Let's stop right there. Two houses, he is instituting a new law. The house of Israel, we know who they are. They are the Hebrews. The house of Judah, that is within the house of Israel. But however, there's a reason why he's splitting them up. Jesus comes from the line of Judah. So if you are a Christian, you are automatically from the house of Judah. That's why he separates it. So he's basically saying he's giving a new covenant to the house of Israel and to believers. So believers, we have to live by this law. What law is it? Well, let's find out. Let's jump right into it. Let's go a few scriptures down and look at verse 33. Verse 33 says, "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, declares the Lord. I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they shall be my people." That new law. Remember that. Let's put a point there. Let's fast track over to the New Testament, and let's look at John 13. And while you're turning there, you have to realize this is God talking in Jeremiah. He was telling Jeremiah about the new law that will be instituted. Now let's look at John 13:34. I'm just going to mess up the spoiler right now and tell you that the new law is love. What is love? How is that a law? Because you got to first love the Lord your God. Well, let's go into it. John 13:34 says, and I'm reading from the ESV again, it says, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you, just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. And by doing this, people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." So instinct, this is it right here. He's telling you to love people. That's the law that we're under. That's how Christians can identify each other. That's how believers can be identified. The act of love, how you love yourself, how you love others, how do you give, how do you receive, how do you treat one another. So that's just a little tidbit for today. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.